I wouldn't do it. That scene wasn't in the movie when they did the movie. They pulled those ugly pieces out like that, gave it to another brother who went on and got the money. But I wouldn't do that. Certain stuff I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything that will embarrass black people. I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna embarrass my mother. The most important thing in the world to me is that my mother and God are proud of me. So I don't do no bad stuff on purpose. If I fuck you up, I swear it was a mistake. So yeah, I've turned down those parts. And
Wow.
I don't have money. Right? I'm okay, but I don't have the kind of money where I should be turned down parts. But I would certainly turn down a part if it makes black people look bad.
Let me get your perspective on this then, because I've seen you act out as women in roles before. What do you think about black men wearing dresses in Hollywood? Is it
I,
forced?
I think it's outstanding. I had a list. Wait a minute, hold up. I wish I knew you was gonna ask me that. Don't go nowhere. Stay right where you
You
are.
about to dress up?
No. I'm not gonna dress up, but I will tell you one thing. You need to wear your mask, man. When you're in public, so what I did, I made my first mask
They got some drawers.
out of bad draws. Because see, if you do it with the draws, first of all, the material is so cool that it actually keeps the fiber out. And you want to talk about social distancing? Don't nobody want to get next to you if your drawers are on your face. Okay, so I had a list that I had written. I wish you would prep me for that. Of all the people who made money putting on a dress, okay? Yeah. And they want to make it like it's a terrible thing for black people, so they only want to name the black people. But Mr. Television, first guy ever did television was
Flip Wilson.
No, before Flip Wilson, I'm talking about the white guys, man.
Oh shit.
Who was the guy? It was Milton Berle, who was Mr. Television when television first started. He wore a dress. Robin Williams got an Academy Award for playing in the dress. I think it was
Miss Doubtfire. Oh.
I can name like just on Some Likes It Hot, top movie in the world. Both guys played guys who played like they was women because it was an all-girl band and they needed to work. I can give you 60 cases of men who just had fun, dressing up and playing like they was women. It had nothing to do with their masculinity. It had nothing to do with who they are personally. We're actors. So I'm acting. When I play a part, it don't mean I'm that part. It means I'm playing that part because it's theater. So I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with somebody wearing whatever they wear that's funny to them, that makes them laugh. Around here, we do liquor store hat day every Monday. When I'm on my show, you gotta wear your liquor store hat. That might be the one your mama used to wear when she went to church on Sunday. The hat break down. You usually get that, when you go into a liquor store. Now, in a white neighborhood, they don't have no liquor store. They have spirits,
Yeah.
They have a liquor store where you can get it in a brown paper bag, player. So if you play, and when we're actors, we're playing. So when you're playing, you play what the role is. You play the role that works. Wait a minute, I'm doing right now. I have a series where I'm playing Gayle King interviews because I'm shooting my first sketch comedy show I created called The Garage Show. And in that show, I did Gayle King interviews R. Kelly. So I played Gayle King and R. Kelly. Then I shot me playing Gayle King interviews Martin Luther King Jr. because he came back because he pissed off about what y'all did with his legacy. Then I played Gayle King interviewing Kanye West. And it's hilarious. Don't look nothing like Gayle King. I come out as an ugly bitch, I can tell you that. But I'm just saying, it's comedy. And in comedy, you go for the funny. If you're worried about what people think about you or say about you, you shouldn't be in the entertainment industry anyway. You should be, get a book, go teach something, but you shouldn't be doing what we do.
But would you say this an agenda, though, to put the black man in that more so because, like you said, in that role in Deep Cover that you didn't want to do, so that had to come from somebody. Would you say that's like an agenda? Like, we're going to get these black dudes to do this, to kind of demean themselves and put them in a situation where people could see it like, that it is making the black race look bad.
I'm sure that some writers are conscious of writing in such a way that they can make us look bad, But at the end of the day, art, no matter what the form of art is, whether it's dancing or singing or playing a musical instrument or acting or telling a joke, it all comes down to 4 words. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. How you tell your story is what determines how people like it or love it or not. And I'm certain that there are people who write stories to try to keep us in a dark light. This once again, you're back to the schematic part of it, where they do things. They try to get more black men to go to prison, knowing that that's going to mess with a lot of black men's sexuality. You know, it's going to pull us out of the system. So it's going to be less black fathers at home, less black men in the community. There are people who are set and think like that. I'm sure of that. But that's where your discernment comes in. Everybody's their own person. You have to do the thing that resonates with you. I had no problem throwing on a wig and a dress and talking silly. I love Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
You want to stop loving Jamie Foxx because he played Wanda? Hell no. He ain't just play Wanda. He played every musical instrument in the orchestra. He played Ray Charles. He did everything he wants to do, rich enough to pee cream. You think I'm gonna be mad at? No, Jonathan Winters wore the dress. I tell you, it's 10 times more artists that are white that did roles wearing dresses than black men. Here's what my real problem is. My real problem is in my community, in the black community, we tend to tear each other down in judgment. You know, I did a show called Homeboys in Outer Space. I bet both of y'all too young to remember that.
I remember that. Yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Homeboys in Outer Space was off the chain. That shit was funny. We had a space hoopty. I was the hustler. I came out in a full-length coat. I opened it up. I had all kinds of shit to sell. I was like, brother man. NAACP hated it. The Hollywood branch shut us down. We barely made it through one season. How come it got to be Homeboy in Outer Space instead of Brothers in Outer Space? How come it's got to be a space hoopty instead of a spaceship? Snatched us off the air. White folks came up the next year with the same motherfucking show. Third Rock.
From the sun, yep.
Motherfucking white people. Nobody ever said they were silly. Nobody ever said they were stupid on Hee Haw. Nobody ever said they were stupid on the Beverly Hillbillies. No, they let them motherfuckers work and all become wealthy and tell they funny, corny stories the way they want to tell them. I'm in a movie called The Princess and the Frog. Are you hip to that?
Yeah, I got a daughter. She love that shit.
Your daughter love that. So how old is your daughter?
5.
When she old enough, you let her know I was the cook. I was the chef at the counter. That when she talking about she gonna get her own restaurant, yeah, you can get your own restaurant, and I'm gonna win the Kentucky Derby. I start galloping around. Look, I start galloping around, smacking by my hand with a spatula.
Yeah.
So Princess and the Frog almost didn't make it, brother. Black people came out against it so tough. They didn't like the princess's name. We changed the name 4 times. They hated that we did it in New Orleans. They didn't like that there was a voodoo aspect. When I tell you it is one of the flyest black animated shows ever with some of the greatest stars in it, but we pull our own selves down. White folks step back and let them tell that story. You're just telling the story. You know, you got Friends. What is Friends?
Living single. Living single.
It's living single.
Living single.
Nobody say anything to white folks and they go ahead and get their money.
Yeah.
And we sit here scrutinizing. Wait a minute. He said nigga instead of nigga. We're gonna get him off the stage. Y'all need to calm the hell down and release your sphincter muscles and let people go ahead and get their living on. But real men are not gonna do things real black men are not gonna do things that disgrace our community. We're just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I ain't doing that. I don't need money bad enough for that. And if I do, I still know how to rob a person. Plus, it's easy because everybody got mad.
Yeah.
Word up.
Real talk.
You know, so yeah. What else you got for me?
One more question, brother. I appreciate your time. We're a little under an hour here with Micheal Colyar. Powerful interview.
Yeah.
We can do a whole hour. I ain't got no place to go and all day to get there.
My man. Bernie Mac, what's the best advice you got from the legendary icon, Bernie Mac?
Man.
Yeah.
Friend. Bernie Mac was my friend, not just because he's a great comedian, and he was a great comedian.
Yeah.
But he was a great man. See, he was a black man. See, black men are rare nowadays. Niggas everywhere. You can open the glove compartment of your car before niggas are falling out. But black men who have integrity for their community, for their family, for their queen, for their God, very rare indeed. He taught me how you treat people. You know, Bernie Mac is the reason I was on Def Jam. I didn't even know the show was coming out. He told them who I was and insisted that they put me on. He told me who they were. I went in and sizzled that shit first season. They put me on 4 more seasons. I hosted one of them. In fact, Russell Simmons is my friend now. I interviewed him on my show 3 weeks ago from his home in Valley. when I got my show on BET called BET Live from LA, which was off the chain, I reached out to all my comedy friends. Nobody would come at first until Bernie Mac came. Mike, he was on the show so happy for my success, genuine about it. You know, a lot of people want you to do good, but not good as them.
Mm-hmm.
You start doing good as them, oh, it's gonna be a problem. Bernie Mac was a man. He wasn't